Assalamu alaikum, children.
Assalamu alaikum, kids.
Alaikum salam, everyone. Alaikum salam, children.
Oh, I just remembered. What's that thing you say when you send condolences?
Condolences to you and your family on the passing and tragedy of Imam al-Hussein.
Yes.
Condolences.
Condolences. How do you say it in Arabic again, Pip?
I think it's Azam Allah.
Azam Allah.
Allah.
Azam Allah. Yeah, well, we're going to continue looking at the journey that Imam Hussein made. Today, he arrived in a town called Qasr Bani Maqatir. And the strangest thing happened here because there was another camp set up. But who, what and why? It was the camp of Al-Jufi.
Camp of al-Jufi.
He was a Kufan who didn't want... No, yeah, we don't say it like that, Pip, because maybe, well, we'll find out about his story and why he was there in the middle of nowhere. I mean,
But he's a Kufan.
yeah, well, look, let's just
Kufans are not nice.
They left Imam Hussein.
They did, but why did they leave Imam Hussein?
Because they were loving this world too much. They were brought out by the baddies.
Well, we know for a fact that Al-Jufi, he didn't want to be known to Imam Hussein, thinking about saving his life, and he knew of Imam Hussein's status. He knew Imam Hussein was very special, but still he wanted to run away from him.
Is that why he was in the desert?
Yeah, that's why he went into the middle of the desert.
Well, I bet Imam found him and I bet Imam killed him.
No, Imam Hussein didn't kill him. That's not what Imam Hussein would have done.
Imam Hussein was loving.
Very loving and kind, and he always gave people a chance, didn't he, Penny?
Yeah.
Well, he knew that Imam Hussein was very special. He knew that he would have a good life in the end if he went with Imam Hussein, but there was no one to fight the enemies. You see, Jufi was kind and really, really respectful to Imam Hussein. He even offered him horses. His best one was called Malhaka. Imam Hussein said, no, I don't want your horse.
Why?
Because he said, look, if you're not going to fight with me, I need you to be with me and the horse, not just the horse itself. Keep the horse. I don't need the horse. They could have used the horse and it might have helped them, but he wanted people with good hearts to be with him. He didn't just want gifts from anybody, but they wouldn't join him.
You know what? Imam Hussein was trying to tell him that, you know what, I don't need these horses. I don't need your money.
Yeah.
What he needed was people by his side.
Exactly.
Because Imam was saying, you know, he's the Prince of Paradise. He has everything if he wants it, but he's just trying to teach the world that he's giving everyone the opportunity to come and join him.
Ooh, opportunity. Penny, what does that mean?
It means like a chance.
A chance to yay, well done. A chance to do good. You see, he wanted those camps that he met on his way to join him.
Beautiful is Imam Hussein.
So beautiful. And then
you know why? He gives everyone the chance to be good.
Absolutely.
He invites all to join him.
Even monsters.
Oh gosh, yeah, and wonderful people like yourself, Penny.
I heard the jinn tried to help Imam Hussein as well.
Gosh, even they loved him.
Oh, everyone loves Imam Hussein.
You see,
Subhanallah.
Imam Hussein wanted people to have a good life in the next world, because we do believe that there is a special place that you can get to after you leave this world, and in order to get there you need to kind of, it's almost like collecting good points, and you can do that by being with your mum.
Loads of good points, Leila.
Yeah.
By reciting a salawat.
Let's do that now. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. Well, you know, Imam Hussein knew that many people had sins, and sins are something that you do when you do something wrong, like eating haram food or lying or backbiting. And a good way of getting rid of them, Penny, is by doing something good. So he was giving people a chance to join him, to go to Karbala, to save Islam, so that all those sins could be washed away and wiped out.
I wish I could join him so all my sins would be washed away. Although I don't have that many.
Well, Penny, you're still young, and I can see just by the fact that you're wearing your hijab, you're already trying to be a follower of the Ahlul Bayt. I know, because you said, didn't you, you went to a majlis for Lady Fatima, peace be upon her,
Yeah.
and they were talking of, that's Imam Hussein's mum, as you know, and they were talking all about hijab, and that's when you started wearing your hijab the way you do now. MashaAllah.
MashaAllah, well done, Sister Penny.
Thank you.
Yeah, and he didn't want to go with Imam Hussein because he knew that there was no one to fight alongside
Basically,
him.
he didn't want to join what he was, in his words, saying, Imam Hussein's going to lose, so why do I want to die?
Yeah,
Can I tell you something?
yeah,
I said this last time in the last majlis.
yeah.
The reason why people didn't join Imam Hussein is because they love this world. You know, Al-Ja'fi, the reason why he didn't join Imam Hussein is because he was too busy worrying about himself.
I know.
About his horses. I mean, he was willing to give all of that, but he just didn't want to give his life.
No.
But Imam Hussein was giving him an opportunity
I know.
of a lifetime.
Of a
What a
lifetime.
silly person.
I know. Gosh, Penny, what would you have done if you'd been there?
I'd give all my hijab pins and all my hijabs for Imam Hussein.
Oh my God, Penny, I
They're
know.
really important to me.
They are
think
very
Imam Hussein
important to
would
you.
say, keep one hijab.
Probably.
Yeah, keep one hijab to preserve your modesty. That's right. Well, on the 3rd of Muharram, a couple of days after Imam Hussein had arrived in Qasr Bani Maqatil, there were 4,000 enemy soldiers that were under the command of Umar ibn Sa'd, and they arrived and they surrounded Imam Hussein's camp and they cut him off from the river Euphrates, the Furat river, and that was the only way that they could get water.
Oh dear.
Things
So
were
how did they quench their thirst?
quench. What's quench, Penny?
It means to.
I know.
Yeah.
When you're really, really thirsty and you have a glass of water, my mummy says, is your thirst quenched? And I say, yes, mummy, that basically means my thirst is gone. But do you know what else my mum says?
What?
And you should always remember this. Are you listening, Sister Penny?
Yes, I am.
My mum says that every time you drink water, you should think Hussein. Do you know what that means?
You should think of Imam Hussein every time you take a sip of
And it
water.
makes me really sad.
And
Is it because he was so thirsty?
Yeah,
Very
because
thirsty.
He died thirsty. You know, my mum was telling me a story that Imam Hussein's son is it Imam Zain al-Abidin.
There were 3 sons with him.
Oh no, you know the Imam had one son who was an Imam.
Yes, Imam Sajjad.
Imam Sajjad, the 4th Imam.
The 4, yes.
We recited salawat for him.
Yes, Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
Once my mum was telling me that he was going in like the town centre.
Yeah.
And they were slaughtering, killing an animal for meat. We eat goat and we eat sheep.
Yeah.
And then the Imam stopped.
Yeah.
And he asked that person who was slaughtering the goat.
Yeah.
He said, have you given the goat water?
Oh,
You know why?
no, but it makes me very sad.
Because he remembered his father. And then the person replied,
Hmm.
obviously we gave it water because before we do it, we have to give water. And the Imam said, oh, I feel very sad for my own father who was killed without water.
That's so sad.
It makes me really sad. Sorry, can we continue?
On the 4th of Muharram, Imam Hussein decided to speak to Umar ibn Sa'd because he didn't want any fighting. Remember, Imam Hussein didn't go to Karbala to start a war or fight or cause any trouble for anyone, but he wanted Ibn Sa'd to be on the right path.
Yeah.
So there was a long meeting. It went on for quite a few days, and he was saying, look, we are the Ahlul Bayt, we are the rightful leaders, what you're doing is wrong.
Yeah.
But again, maybe Umar ibn Sa'd was it was I bet his feelings were all mixed up because he wanted money, he wanted to be leader, but he was also scared that Ibn Ziyad would get him if he didn't do as he was told. So even he had a story to tell, but in the end he made the wrong choice, Pip.
He's a silly man.
He is a silly
Naughty
man.
man.
On the 5th of Muharram, there were more and more soldiers coming in, and the situation was getting terrible. You can imagine the camp of Imam Hussein wasn't very big. And then on the other side, you've
It's not
got...
about quantity, Layla, it's about quality.
That's a good point, but could you imagine facing, or you're on the battlefield and you're looking across the desert and all you can see are thousands and thousands and thousands of men.
That would be so scary.
But it just goes to show how scared they were of Imam
and it
Hussein.
just goes to show you how brave my Imam it was.
He's
Yeah.
not just your Imam, Pip. He's all
I
ours.
know that, but
Yeah.
do you know when he's my Imam, because I love him.
Yeah.
That's the only reason I said that, Penny. I know the Imam is the
Okay,
Imam
let's
of the whole
not...
world.
yeah, we all loved
Yeah,
him.
but I love him more.
I
Okay.
don't think so.
On the 6th of Muharram, basically there was no water, and it was getting really, really hard for the camp of Imam Hussein to manage. They tried to dig wells, just with their bare hands, to find water under the ground. They were getting really, really desperate because the women and children, they were going without water. How do you feel after...
I get thirsty really easily.
When
They
you
must
do
have been
PE at
so
school
thirsty.
and you do sports, Penny, I've seen you gulp down a big bottle of water. Well, imagine you've been in the desert for
Do
days
you go
and
to
days.
the same school?
No. Well, once I saw her because I went to...
Sports day.
It was sports day and you invited me, didn't you?
Yeah.
Thank you. And I saw Penny after the egg and spoon race gulp down a really big bottle of water. And when I think about what happened on these days leading up to the 10th of Muharram, I thought, my God, how did they manage
And
all
all
that
you
time?
did was do an egg and spoon race. I mean, that's not even that much effort. It's like just an egg and then a spoon. It's like breakfast.
Actually, it was very hard.
Yeah.
But yes, they were in a desert and
I
it was
know.
hot. And
Absolutely.
we live in England and it's cold. And
Absolutely.
Where do you live?
raining. In England.
In
That's
London,
nice.
yeah. Imam Zain al-Abidin at this time was very, very ill and he wanted to fight, but he couldn't. He was just lying down in one of the tents.
You know, that would be horrible because, just imagine your father has not that many people.
Yeah.
And then you're ill and you want to help him, but you're kind of helpless.
You're
But
helpless.
my mummy told me that
Yeah.
Allah made him ill so that he didn't fight.
What? That makes no sense.
No, what Penny means is that there was a reason for his illness, because if he had fought, then who would have been the Imam after Imam Hussein? Do you see?
Yeah, you're right, But
That's a good point you've raised, Penny. Well done. Thanks for raising that.
yeah, thanks for that.
On the 7th of Muharram, Umar ibn Sa'd made sure that Amr bin al-Hajjaj took charge of the army and the river. That's because they were stopping Imam Hussein getting to the river and from reaching it. The water shortage was causing so much pain for everybody in the camp. I mean, just imagine being in that heat and there being no water.
One thing though.
What?
Yesterday I went to the majlis and the lecturer, the sheikh, he was saying that they stopped at the river Euphrates.
Yes.
And then, later on, he said the river Furat. And then later on, he said something like Al-Qama.
Yeah.
So were there 3 different rivers?
Well, the Euphrates River is how we would say it in English. The river Furat, I think, is probably in Arabic, and Al-Qama
it's just like a title.
yeah, they're just that's how we would know which
like
river it was.
nicknames.
Yeah, like the River Nile or other rivers, but this river was particularly important, wasn't it, Penny? Because it was the only source of water. That means it was the only place they could get water.
Is that why they died thirsty?
Gosh, yeah, they did, and it was terrible.
They didn't die, they got killed.
They got killed, and well, they were thirsty before they died. It was a horrible way to leave this world.
How could they fight while they were thirsty?
That's a good question. I think about that a lot. How did they have the energy and the strength and
Because
the courage
the
to go
energy
on?
came from Allah.
The energy did come from Allah, because
Allah had chosen these people. You must remember that, Penny.
absolutely.
Yes, it's true.
On the 8th of Muharram, the Imam Hussein, he sent a message to Ibn Sa'ad to meet, asking him, so don't you fear the day of judgment when you have to stand in front of Allah?
But you know what? He couldn't care because Ibn Sa'd was loyal to Yazid. He couldn't care about Allah.
No.
He had the love of this world in his heart.
Absolutely.
Not the love of Allah.
Absolutely.
Imam was trying to tell us that. You know that.
I know. That's what he was trying to get through to Umar ibn Saad, that look, don't just think about this world. Think about the next world. Think about what's going to happen to you and your family if you continue fighting with me. On the 9th of Muharram, the Imam said to Umar ibn Saad and to his enemy, he said, look, can we have some time just to spend alone with our family and friends, to spend the night in prayer and to think, because we're going to be leaving this world very soon and we just want some time, you know, to be with Allah and to think about everything.
I remember one thing about this night.
What?
It always like makes me think a lot, you know.
Yeah.
You know the story, can you please tell me that story about, you know, when the Imam puts out the candle?
That story is not for today, Pip. It's
Oh.
a very sad story and I have to get ready to tell you it because I know what's going to happen.
Maybe you can tell us tomorrow.
I can, because
That
I'll
would be
probably cry.
amazing.
I'll probably get really, really upset. So I hope you have some tissues with you tomorrow because,
Well, you know what, Sister Layla?
yeah,
Condolences to you and your family.
and
عظم
you.
الله أجورنا وأجوركم.
Azam Allah.
Condolences. It's good to cry.
Is
in
it?
Muharram. Yeah.
But my eyes get really
But you
sore.
get loads of rewards, Layla.
Yeah, my mum told me that, you know, if you cry, Bibi Fatima comes and she collects your tears.
Yeah.
And she takes them to heaven.
I always cry when I'm in the majlis, and I do matam.
Well, I don't normally cry, but I cry for Imam Hussein because he's my hero, and he's the children's at home's hero. Is he your hero?
So your hero too? He's definitely mine.
Let's recite a salawat.
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
We'll see you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow, children. Ma salam. Thanks for watching. See you.